Hi, it's Terry Pace, and we're here to talk about how do we increase our energy naturally, right? I am a holistic health coach, and I have some pretty amazing stories over the last 10 years of doing this. And during today's workshop, what we're going to explore is the daily habits that you can do to increase your energy naturally. I'll share some very simple routines and some of my favorite essential oils that support vitality and vibrancy and lots of energy. So if you leave here today with some simple steps that you can take to feel more energy naturally, maybe to feel a little less washed out every day, would you find that valuable? Yes. And so let's just start with a quick review for people who are new to essential oils. What exactly is an essential oil? An essential oil is distilled from a plant. It's the leaves, the flowers, the berries, the bark, the stems. As in the case of citrus oils, it's cold pressed from the rinds. An essential oil is a naturally occurring, volatile, aromatic compound. In other words, it's nature's chemistry. And here's one thing I want you to write down, right? Essential oils are a message carrying molecule, right? It's chemistry, and it has information for your cells on how to do what they know how to do better. The plant produces an essential oil as part of its defensive or recovery mechanisms, or as part of its communication, right? It's going to attract pollinators or repel pests. It might use it to protect itself from environmental threats or from microbial or fungal attacks. And so these three things, right? Protection, recovery, healing, and communication are the three benefits that we get when we use an essential oil. And we use them simply by, breathing them in aromatically, topically, internally, right? Lots of gifts in each method of doing it. I will say, though, we want to make sure that if you're taking it internally, that it is a therapeutic grade essential oil. doTERRA is the leading essential oil company in the world and has the best sourcing program. Purity, potency are at the foundation of our therapeutic benefits. And seriously, when you have a therapeutic grade, potent, right, highly concentrated essential oil, they work really fast. Within 22 seconds, we find that chemistry in the brain. Within 2 minutes, we can detect that chemistry in the bloodstream. And within 22 minutes, it's in every single cell of the body, right? So here's a quick snapshot of a blood slide. You'll notice that the blood cells are kind of clumped, they're misshapen, and if this was live, you could see that they are very sluggish and they're kind of not moving well. They took this sample of blood, applied balanced essential oil to the bottom of this person's feet, and then 30 seconds later took another sample. And this is what it looks like in 30 seconds. Very dramatic changes, and 30 seconds later. And so I want you to remember that as we talk about energy, right? Like when I want energy, I want it now. I don't want to have to wait. I'm a little impatient that way. And so as we start talking about, like, I need more energy, right? We need energy to function. But there's so many things that affect our energy level. And as you might imagine, right, it's affected by how much sleep did you get? What kind of mood do you have? How much stress are you under? What's your diet like? Maybe, your adrenal function, hydration, thyroid health. I mean, like, there's so many different things that could affect energy. And then on top of it, are you on a medication that affects any of those things? Right? This can further complicate how your body produces energy. Right? Energy isn't something that you get. Right? Your body has to produce it. And so the cells, the systems of your body are what produce the energy. Right? So through this energy production in the body, we're going to affect many different factors. And there's some simple ways that we can invigorate the mind and the body. And so here's some simple solutions that I love. I'm going to talk about them in categories. So I love the mint oils. They're very stimulating and energizing. Their aroma presents us with this sense of excitement and floods our respiratory system and brain cells with this immediate burst of energy and clarity, right? When you need to feel invigorated, simply apply it to your palm and rub your hands together. Make a nose tent and inhale deeply, right? Oh, I put spearmint on my hands right before the class began. What's really great about this form of stimulation is that it doesn't use your hormones like many of the energy drinks that are on the market. And there's no crash afterwards, right? There's also no digestive discomfort or disruption. And one of the things that's amazing about mint oils is that they're incredibly effective at aiding our digestive function, right? And so when we, are absorbing essential oils, right, we're absorbing the nutrients, essential oils kind of help that process, right? So that's just some of my favorite mint oils to use. I also love citrus oils, right? They're very high in a chemistry called limonene, which instantly uplifts your mood and makes you feel happy, right? And when we're happy, we have a little more energy, and we actually, kind of have a desire to check things off our list, right? So just simply pick your favorite. Like, there's so many different, citrus essential oils, right? You can use it aromatically by putting it in your diffuser, put a drop in your glass of water. My current favorite is tangerine, right? But, pick your favorite. We also know that wood oils are really grounding and stabilizing to our nervous system. And so when we're grounded, we spend less energy, floating and being distracted, right? That chatter that's in our head. Sometimes it sucks all the energy that you do have away. So when we have more clarity, we can focus on and do what is important and let the trivial things go. Now we're using our energy much more efficiently, right? This group, the tree oils, also provides a very effective way to manage your stress, right? My go-to oils, frankincense, Siberian fir, vetiver, and my new favorite, copaiba, right? You can put these oils on the bottom of your feet or the back of your neck throughout the day. Whenever I'm feeling kind of off track, or maybe like I notice I'm feeling stressed out a little bit, I'll just reach for one of these wood oils and help kind of ground and stabilize my system. These are also good choices at bedtime, right, for an exceptional night's sleep. When we have a well-rested body, then we are well prepared for the day that's in front of us. Right? So getting a good night's sleep is super important. Just, like I said, put them on the bottom of your feet or the back of your neck. Our next category is the spice oils. You might be familiar with these because you find them in dried form of like the herb in your spice cabinet, right? All of them are good to improve and aid our digestion, but they're also good to help reduce our feelings of stress, right? So how does stress affect energy? So chronic stress can overstimulate the adrenal glands, which are involved in producing over 50 hormones that drive almost every bodily function, right? So this will dramatically affect your energy level if your adrenal system is off, right? These essential oils are just great to support nervous tension, maybe some occasional fatigue, whether it's physical or mental fatigue, and they're really good at a healthy metabolic function, right? Picture here, right, we have basil and coriander, which help to lower our stress hormone. They're very high in a chemistry called linalool. Linalool. And linalool helps lower cortisol, which is one of our stress hormones, right? So you can put it on the temples or the back of your neck to reduce kind of feelings of tension. The rosemary is a great oil to take internally to help with that physical and mental fatigue. I also love cinnamon, right? Cinnamon helps support healthy metabolic function, right? And healthy metabolism is a key to supporting your vibrant energy levels, right? We're going to help your body. The metabolic functions of your body is one of the ways in which we're creating the energy that we need. Apply it to your temples, the back of your neck, put it in a capsule, take them internally. All of these are made for internal use. So you can add them to your favorite recipes like I do. So let's those are some of the simple solutions that we can use, right? Just oils at our fingertips. But let's kind of dive a little bit deeper. So I love using essential oils to help promote energy kind of on the fly. But let's dive a little deeper to what actually causes a lack of energy. Right? When we start looking at the root cause of not having the energy levels that we want, we start kind of seeing some other things. And so many of the things that affect our energy will also affect sleep and vice versa, right? There's this kind of like inflationary spiral that happens, right? You don't get any sleep, so you have no energy, and you have no energy, and then like you really can't fall asleep because you didn't do anything that day. So let's talk about sleep, right? We have a 24-hour lifestyle in our society, right? And over 30% of our workforce does not work in that traditional 9-to-5 job, right? There's 100,000 car crashes linked to just being tired, right? Not, any other reason, but just I'm tired. I have these little micro sleeps. Our decisions become a little bit more impulsive, and we fail to appreciate the consequences, right? So we just want to make quick decisions because we don't have the energy to really put our mind to thinking something all the way through. So we might kind of rely on caffeine and alcohol to get through like our day. But so going to sleep is about sleep pressure that builds, right? So there's a pressure that builds that we want to go to sleep towards the end of our day. And then when we sleep, awake pressure builds, right? And so we have this natural rhythm. Caffeine blocks that feeling of that sleep pressure, right? So that's why it works. Nicotine can actually block that sleep pressure. And, caffeine lasts a long time in the body. So it needs to be reversed at night, which is why people start grabbing, medications and sometimes, alcohol, right? We have this tendency to start taking sleeping pills or alcohol to kind of help us. And they, in turn, actually disrupt sleep even more, right? They disrupt brain pathways that are used for memory consolidation and processing. Like overnight, we're kind of processing our day and filing everything away. So this is not just for adults. That are your children, right? Things that they're exposed to are going to create sleep disruption for them too. We also have this very always on, right? Exacerbated by technology at our fingertips, and that little red dot that's constantly drawing our attention away from what we have to do. Like, no, don't go to sleep. There's one more message for you. Long-term lack of sleep could create like digestive disorders, pain and inflammation, depression, lots of different things. And of course, hormone imbalance. So what can we do about this? Well, like my favorite too, balance and serenity. Like just grab them, balance on the bottom of your feet, serenity in your diffuser. If you like the serenity, soft gels, you could take them 30 minutes before bed. Be creative, use different like oils that are grounding and stabilizing to help you fall asleep fast. One of my favorites here is vetiver, cedarwood, and lavender, right? But those oils are also in the Serenity blend. So you could do your own thing, or you could, take the benefit of the synergy that doTERRA creates in the blends that they do. Besides poor quality sleep, right, we have sleeplessness when your thyroid's out of balance, right? So one of the things that I like to mention is that your thyroid, right, a hormone imbalance of the thyroid can be caused by so many different things. But one thing we know for sure is that when it's off, we feel off, right? There's over 20 million Americans that suffer from thyroid dysfunction. And, 60% of them are unaware that it's not functioning right. 60%, like that's a huge number, right? When we have thyroid dysfunction, you can see, moodiness, muscle and joint pain. Like you're thinking, your joint pain is because of this. Well, it could be an indication that your thyroid's out of balance. If you've had weight loss and weight gain, that's the one that people tend to look at first. But, changes in appetite, poor work performance, this fatigue that we feel, right? Thyroid issues can show up in so many different ways. But I want to just impress on you that the thyroid is considered the master gland. It's the one that secretes hormones that in one way or another affect every bodily function. That's why they call it the master gland. And when it's off, right? And so I also like to remind people, hormones, right? As you know, like when we have like different change of life, a tiny bit of hormone creates a large effect in the body. Like a really, really small amount of that chemistry can create this megaphone effect. So if it's off, even just a tiny little bit, it creates a huge effect in a negative way now, right? And so, the thyroid is responsible for regulating body temperature, your heartbeat, how you produce protein, and it helps control your metabolic rate. And guess what else? It's responsible for creating energy in your body. So what can you do? Well, here's a nice blend. This is one that Dr. Maritza Snyder shared with us. Clove, basil, frankincense, lemongrass, and myrrh, right? You just take them in a capsule every single day and help that get under control. You can also make sure you're getting the right amount of selenium. Selenium is found in Brazil nuts. So if you eat 3 Brazil nuts every day, it'll help give you the right trace mineral, selenium, that helps balance thyroid function. And, when you're highly acidic, the thyroid tends to go, so make sure that you're staying away from highly acidic foods. Sugars, alcohols, processed foods can all be very acidic to the body. And so you want to green your diet, right? Raw and natural as much as possible. And if you have a thyroid dysfunction, you're going to want to live that full out. Okay, so what else? Well, when our hormones are out of balance, right, the adrenal system starts to get involved, right? And so the adrenal system is part of your endocrine gland, which is responsible for the production of 50 different hormones. And many of them are the energy regulating hormones like cortisol and adrenaline, right? And so when you have more than just an occasional tiredness, like maybe you have fatigue that won't go away even after you get a good night's sleep. Maybe you have muscle and joint pain again, the headaches, frequently getting sick, weight gain, digestive problems like constipation, cramps, fogginess, like trouble concentrating. These could all be signs that you have some adrenal dysfunction going on. And, when your adrenal system's off, not only is your energy off, but now you start to have issues with immune function, right? And, other hormone things. It kind of trickles down. Once we start having little hormone problems, they create bigger problems because hormones direct so many different functions in the body. And what can we do? Well, you have to make sure that you get adaptogens. So they're natural herbs, right there. They are naturally occurring foods that help you balance hormones and reduce the body's stress response, right? So adaptogens can improve our cortisol levels, insulin sensitivity, and result in much better energy. So Mito2 Max, right? Your lifelong vitality, particularly your Microplex VMC and your XC Omega, right? Change your diet by avoiding caffeine, excess sugar, carbohydrates, any processed or packaged foods. And you want to fill up on these hormone balancing, healthy fats, proteins, and plenty of fresh vegetables. So what else can you do? Well, here we go. Basil is one of the best ways to support the adrenal system, right? Basil's in Aroma Touch, and I believe it's also in past tense. Diffusing basil and rosemary can be so stimulating for mental, chronic, or adrenal fatigue. We can also look at, I think citrus bliss is another good one for energy, and maybe some geranium, ylang ylang. Like, these are some of my favorites. So let's just talk about straight up life, change of life hormone imbalances, right? It's going to happen throughout our life. We start shifting different phases, and the hormone production in your body shifts as well. And sometimes it takes a little while for it to kind of get adjusted. So, love Clary Calm. And just put it on the abdomen, bottom of your feet, or the bones around your ankles. My favorite place to put Clary Calm to help, just kind of enjoy a more balanced hormones naturally. We also can experience hormone heaven, like clary sage, Siberian fir, Roman chamomile, and jasmine, right? It's just amazing, amazing blend. You can put this in a roller bottle and just roll it on yourself, or you could cue it up in your diffuser, whatever you like. We could also talk a little bit about digestive health, because if we're not absorbing the nutrients that we need, then we're going to have issues because we don't have the tools to create the energy, right? And things that affect our ability to absorb, vitamins and minerals in our food and in our supplements, or prescription medication, antibiotics, genetically modified foods or processed foods, poor diet, chronic stress, toxic overload, bacterial imbalance in the gut. All of these things can definitely disrupt our digestive system, slow down absorption, and then create energy issues for us. So what else can we do? Well, taking Terrazyme and PB Assist. And I love, I take a scoop of the bone broth powder, and I put it in my smoothie every day. It's a good source of protein, and it helps to, protein is the building blocks of all your cells. And so I want cells that are kind of, beefy, soldiers in at the door, right? We can also look at doing a detox, right? Whether you do a 21-day detox or a 30-day detox, doing it periodically throughout the year is a really good idea. And if you have issues with energy, it's the first place I would suggest you start, right? Because we can have even more significant issues, in the gut. Another thing that we can do that's very simple is just make sure you're drinking enough water, right? When you're dehydrated, your heart sends oxygen to your brain, your muscles, and your organs at a slower pace, right? Like, we need oxygen to be part of what fuels our energy, our clarity, and our ability to kind of, have healthy cells. And so dehydration slows that process of giving them, the right amount of oxygen. So just make sure you're drinking the proper amount of water. What can you do to make it easier? Fill up a big bottle, and make sure that you, this is my quota for the day, right? This is how much I have to take over the course of the day, and try to front load it instead of back load it, right? Like, at the end of the day, you're like, oh my God, I have to drink 60 ounces and it's 6 o'clock at night, right? That's not a good position to be in. So you want to front load your stuff into the beginning part of your day. And so you can put citrus oils in your water, but one of the best ways, Slim and Sassy is a metabolic blend. So by adding the Slim and Sassy to your water, now you're going to get some improvement in how we metabolize the water and the food that we're eating into energy. So, or you could take the Slim and Sassy soft gels. doTERRA makes it super convenient for us to just pop a drop. And so I love that. All right, so for people who are not yet members, I'd love to help you get a sample so you can try before you buy. You can just connect with me by clicking on this link or typing it into um, your browser. Just give me your name, your email address, your mobile number, just clue me into what kind of topics are most important to you, and I'll send you some samples. Our success lies in our daily routine. So I love to encourage people to do, things every single day that will bring you closer to that health or wellness goal, right? Because, you can either walk towards it or away from it one step at a time. And so, we're here to help you and support you and, um, love, love, love that you are interested in using natural solutions. So reach out and we'll get connected. So thanks so much for joining me today. I'm really happy to be part of this journey with you.